Hey guys, the story that I'm going to read today is about a man who was proud of his sleeplessness, and the story name is The Sleepless City. Marco was proud of his sleeplessness. He wore it like a medal. I only need 4 hours, he told his colleagues every Monday morning. Arriving at the office before the cleaners had finished, coffee in one hand, phone in the other, he was 31 years old and already a senior manager at a logistic company in Milan. He believed that sleep was for the weak, for people without ambition, for those who were simply not hungry enough. For 2 years, this system appeared to work. His performance reviews were excellent. He remembered the name of clients, the number the numbers of every contract, the birthday of every employee on his team. He exercised 5 times a week, ate carefully, and still managed to answer emails at midnight. People admired him, a few people feared him, nobody worried about him. But then quietly, things began to shift. He started forgetting small things, where he had left his keys, the punchline of a joke he was telling, the name of a film he had seen only the week before. He dismissed these moments as normal stress. He made more coffee. He downloaded a productivity app. He created a new to do list system. One Thursday afternoon, Marco sat in a meeting and realized with a cold shock that he had been staring at the same slide for 9 minutes without reading a single word. His colleague, Sophia, was talking about shipping delays in Portugal, but the words were reaching him from a great distance, as if she were speaking through water. He nodded slowly. He wrote something in his book. Later, he could not read what he had written. That evening, Marco visited a doctor, not for sleep, he told himself, but for general tiredness. The doctor, a calm woman in her 60s named Dr. Ferrante, asked him a series of questions. How many hours did he sleep? 4, sometimes 5. Had this been going on long? 2 years, perhaps more. Did he feel rested when he woke up? He had to think about this. Did he ever feel rested? He could not remember. Dr. Ferrante leaned back in her chair. She told him something that changed the way he understood his own life. Sleep, she explained, is not rest. It is not simply a pause in the day, like pressing pause on a video. During sleep, the brain is intensely active. It processes and organizes the memories of the day, deciding what to keep and what to throw away. It repairs damaged cells throughout the body. It regulates hormones, including the hormones that control hunger, stress, and mood. And most remarkably, she said the brain has a cleaning system that only activates during deep sleep. This system flushes out toxic proteins that build up during waking hours. When you sleep too little for too long, these proteins accumulate. Scientists have found connection between accumulation and serious diseases of the brain. But I function perfectly well on 4 hours, Marcos said, with less conviction d- than he intended. Dr. Felante smiled gently. That is what people with chronic sleep deprivation always believe. She said, the brain loses the ability to measure its own impairment. The worse you sleep, the worse your sleep becomes, the less aware you are of the problem. You feel normal, but your reaction time is slower. Your emotional control is weaker. Your memory is significantly reduced. You are making decisions every day with a brain that is not fully operational, and you believe it is. This struck Marco like a quiet blow. He had always believed that his judgment was sharp, that his awareness of his own limitation was one of his greatest strengths. And yet, here was a doctor telling him that the very tiredness he dismissed was hiding itself from him. He drove home slowly that night and did not check his phone. He sat for a while in his car outside his apartment building, thinking about all the decisions he had made in the last 2 years. Which of them had been made with a clouded mind? Which arguments had he started not because he was right, but because sleep deprivation makes people irritable and quick to feel threatened? Which opportunities had he missed because his creative thinking, which requires rested, free flowing mental activity, had simply been switched off? Marco began sleeping 7 hours that week. It was not dramatic. He did not suddenly feel like a new man. In fact, the first few days were frustrating. He lay in bed for what felt like hours, his mind racing through tomorrow's task. But slowly, over 2 or 3 weeks, something returned to him, a sharpness, a lightness in conversation. He found himself laughing more easily. He noticed things, the quality of light in the afternoon, the particular way a problem could be approached from two directions at once. He stopped telling people he only needed 4 hours of sleep. That particular middle he quietly put away. Key vocabularies: ambition. Ambition is a strong desire to achieve success or a goal. Accumulate, to gradually increase or build up over time. Conviction, a strong feeling of certainty or belief. Impairment is a reduction in the ability to function properly. Chronic is something that continues for a long time without any improvement. Irritable, easily annoyed or made angry. Now guys, it's your turn to comment. What does this story teaches us?